Welcome, everyone. My name is Wes Jackson, and I have the pleasure of being the president of BRIC Arts and Media. And I am very excited to be joined by
Diane Eber.
the executive producer of BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn. You're going to walk us through this wonderful season. I know you've been working really hard.
There's so much deep, incredible history at BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn. And so when we were thinking about what can we use as our grounding mantra for this season, we came up with a curatorial vision of looking into the future while honoring our past. And this is about what is the future of BRIC? You know, 45 years, what are we doing next? What is the future of the festival? What is the future of humanity?
No doubt, no doubt.
You know, this is a pretty intense moment that we're all alive for right now. And I truly believe that when we're grappling with things that are beyond words, the only way to grapple with them is through art. And so the idea of looking into the future through the eyes of artists, what do they see in our future? That we made a lot of tough decisions because we can only book so many artists.
Right.
How to do that and how to frame our season. So you'll see as we talk about the various things, that has been a factor throughout our whole booking. We brought back some gems of like, ooh, we loved this one, let's bring this artist back.
Right.
So that's just a grounding place.
And I think we're going to talk a little bit about your decision making, but I know part of your decision making is that wall between curator and artist, the gatekeeping, but there's a big move you've made of adding to the staff. That's what we call it, setup, the toss.
Quite a setup.
See, I'm good at this. I know what I'm doing.
So for the first time ever, we have our first ever artist curator, Taja Cheek, also known as Lorraine. She's with us today. I don't want to, do the big reveal too soon, but thank you, Taja. And we brought her on as a curator. She's been with us every step of the way, and it's been amazing to have her voice. She's a unique artist in the sense that she has a curatorial practice of her own. She's done work many places. She was at MoMA PS1 for a long time. And she's also an artist in the truest sense. She also happened to grow up in Brooklyn, which is awesome, going to the band shell. So her perspective of 45 years is amazing. She's like, oh yeah, I remember going to Shaka Khan as like a kid. And so to have her voice, it is a move to break down the barrier of gatekeeper, curator, and artist who's out there being like, hi, pick me. And some artists don't want to touch that. They're just like, leave me alone. I want to make some art, right? So Taja not only has been a joy, but is really a rare artist who can kind of wear both hats, has added a new voice to the table, and is helping us put together the whole season, which has been so fun and an exciting new thing that we've never done in 45 years.
Yeah, and I think, I've sort of parachuted in. I'm going to mention to some of your meetings, and I think Taja is a great person. She has this great quote. I don't know we need to sort of read it, but I encourage everybody, in the studio and on the Zoom to read it. But I just wanted to applaud, you and the staff of breaking down that wall, because I think it's important to let people know they can be the practitioners and the artists, but I think it's very important that what BRIC stands for is you can also be in these seats as well. It's important that we pull back that curtain. And in the spirit of pulling back curtains.
There it is. There's the season lineup. Woo. So when we look at this, to me, this is what we're programming for, is really this moment of the whole picture. It's not about one night. Hate to say it, but it's not about your favorite band playing the free show. It's about this. It's about the patchwork representing all of the communities of Brooklyn. We always try. There's always room for growth. But this, and certain names will jump out at you. Ooh, the Wallflowers. Ooh, Kalela. Whatever it is. But each person is going to be drawn to something different. And we hope that you come and take a chance. But this is really that moment of there it is, the whole picture. And there aren't a lot of opportunities to sort of tell that story. So it feels really good to get it here all in one place.
So, and I know we're going to, walk through, so Diane's going to walk us through week by week some of the highlights, and we're going to bring the team up to pick out some of their favorites. I've said many times, folks, to Diane, you got 45 years. There's a bit of, I don't know all of these names. I'm just coming. You know what I mean? It's like, just shut up and come, Wes. You know what I mean?
Mark your calendars, June 7th, opening night. Thrilled to have Taj Mahal, living legend on our stage. Been here 3 times, which not many artists can claim. So excited to have him back. He's here with Corinne Bailey Ray, incredible artist from the UK. When we told her she's playing with Taj Mahal, she totally geeked out. I was like, and this is a beautiful example of these artists are going to speak to different folks. You know what I mean? Different folks are going to be like, Taj Mahal. Ooh, I've never seen Corinne Bailey Rae live. And the Harlem Gospel Travelers, who's opening up the night, they have been on our stage before as part of Vi Higginson's Gospel for Teens program. And now they form their own group. So it's another example of like when we commit to an artist, we stay with them and we watch them grow and we find various ways at BRIC to engage with them. So really excited with DJ Tara, local DJ who's, you know, awesome and gonna bring some love to the stage, round out the evening, opening night, special night. Don't miss it.
Family Day.
Family Day, June 10th, Soul Science Lab, Olivia Kay and the Parkers, 2 Brooklyn artists, Soul Science Lab. Such ridiculous players. They will blow your mind. Afrofuturist, funk, soul, humongous band. Olivia Kay and the Parkers just played Afropunk at Lincoln Center. Awesome. Both visually so fantastic. The kids are going to love it. And it's, you know, sort of for the kids, but really for the whole family. So excited to kick off our season with that. Moving on, week 2, June 15th, Jake Wesley Rogers. Incredible queer storyteller, puts on quite a show. I'm hoping for multiple costume changes if all goes well. And, you know, an awesome lineup, Cara Jackson, Bright Light. We partnered with Come On Everybody on this show. You know, an amazing sort of local club. So that was really fun to program with them, and we hope that community comes out. June 17th, our Juneteenth Unity Fest, the second year we've partnered with Robert Randolph Foundation, which is great. We locked in Joe and Stokely, and for this day, we're hoping to actually dig into Juneteenth and do some education, go deeper, tell the story, not just throw some artists on our stage and say, it's Juneteenth. But actually make space for that. So that's what we're hoping folks get out of this day and do the work and put that on our stage. Excited about that one. Week 3, we're going to be tired. I don't know. Hopefully full of energy by week 3. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll be good.
June 23rd, we are showing the film Birdman, which is kind of a wild film. Not many people know, but Antonio Sanchez, who is a percussionist, wrote the score and is going to be performing it live solo. So like that physical feat of someone on a drum set playing for an entire movie is going to be incredible to see in person. So come and see it. The film's also awesome. We have a giant screen. There's nothing not to love. And Takuya Kuroda's incredible. Jazz funk player, really kind of making jazz cool. Not that jazz ever wasn't cool, but you know. I'm a jazz nerd, so I can put the whole season of jazz.
Viviana is here. She does jazz, so she's going to get in trouble.
June 24th, so excited about this one. Huge get for us. First time we're partnering with Blue Note for a ticketed show. Can't go wrong with Anderson .Paak, Robert Glasper, Layla Hathaway, Bilal, BJ's a Chicago Kid. I mean, it's a ridiculous lineup. We're so excited. Buy your tickets. Tickets are still on sale, so get them now before it sells out. June 25th, we're going to launch a whole new thing in Highland Park. I'm going to kick it to you to speak a little bit.
I do want to shout out Councilmember Sandy Nurse, who reached out to us a little bit about sort of bringing the true legacy of BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn, which was years ago, that was 45 years ago, to beautify Prospect Park. It's hard to imagine there was a time when Prospect Park was dangerous, you know, and Sandy Nurse reached out to us to sort of bring some arts and culture to her neighborhood, that sort of Cypress Hills area. So shout out to Vivian, who we're going to talk to later, and Ro from our BRIC TV, who jumped on along with us to sort of extend the brand a little bit to Highland Park, to bring a little bit of our magic over there. Look at these 3 dates right here, right? We're kind of, that's the diversity we're talking about. But it's really, really awesome.
July 1st, we're super excited about this. This is the second year we're partnering with NPR Tiny Desk. So we've got Ibrahim Malouf, who's an incredible French, Lebanese trumpet jazz player. I've literally been chasing him for maybe 5 years. Big deal to have him on our stage. And Hermanos Gutierrez, who are these incredible brothers that play guitar and just will transport you. You're going to be on another planet if you come to the show. And I can't tell you who's opening because we don't know who the NPR Tiny Desk winner is. But when you talk about trusting that curatorial voice, I would say NPR Tiny Desk is one of the few partners where when I kind of kicked this idea around with Bob Boylan, and it was like, I don't care who it is. I trust you. Like,
Right, right.
it's an amazing partnership where it's like anyone that they pick is going to be incredible on our stage and we'll make it work. So don't miss the show. It's going to be amazing. July 8th, Taja's going to talk about this show. Huge get for us. Kalela, Liv, don't miss it. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be crazy, so show up early and get in line. Week 6, we've got an awesome dance show, really inspired by Hip Hop 50th. We have weaved that through our whole season. You'll see that sprinkled in. Rennie Harris, Pure Movement, incredible street dance troupe. July 14th, Umu Sangare. This is an example of bringing back a gem. She has played our stage before. Incredible artist. Such an honor to have her back. And we have Vox Sambu coming from Montreal. He raps in like 5 different languages and is amazing.
No doubt.
July 15th, Viviana's going to speak about this a little bit, but Marcia Griffiths, living legend, Caribbean, reggae world, like such an honor. We've never had her on our stage, which is crazy. Week 7, Chelsea Symphony Orchestra featuring Lady Jess. Lady Jess, you know, just plays with Beyonce, no big deal.
Talk about that one later, right?
I'm going to geek out.
Okay.
I geek out on this one. Lucretia Dull, incredible electronic musician. July 22nd, so excited about this show. Ali Sethi, Raja Kumari, and Rashni Samlal. No big deal. They just played Coachella. Ali Sethi and
really?
Raja Kumari. Yeah, they're like friends. So this kind of came together in such a beautiful way. And we're psyched about this one and hope folks come out. So mark your calendars. Week 8, we have the Wallflowers. You know, like the Wallflowers from the 90s.
Jacob Dylan, right? See?
Yes.
I'm not all just hip hop. I don't like what you're implying that I didn't
It's just
know
such
the
a
Wallflowers.
throwback. And, you know, it's like, wow. And Treya Lamb, incredible artist, opening up. July 29th is a really special show. We worked with Marika Hughes as our artist curator for this specific show to help us kind of reframe Americana. And has been such a joy to work with her and put this together. Ricky Lee Jones, Thornetta Davis, and Chris Pierce. It's going to be great. Week 9, August 3rd, Jorge Drexler, Sima Funk, Julieta Rada, like just an incredible triple bill from all over the globe. I'm so excited to see that crowd. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful crowd. August 4th, Inigo D'Souza and Wunderbar, also their friends. It was this was a great one that came together that way. Super hip, young folks doing awesome stuff, so that'll be a really fun show. Week 10, we have some benefit shows, and then Hip Hop 50th, which, you know, is awesome and gonna be amazing, and we're working on what that will look like. Much to come there, but again, wanted to make space. So many folks are doing Hip Hop 50th, but, you know, under
August 11th, which is the actual birthday. So I'm glad that we were able to do some programming on that. To be determined. It's gonna be really great.
August 18th, Ile, Divino Nino and Sarah, beautiful show. Ile is the singer from Calle 13, this amazing Puerto Rican hip hop group who played our stage and blew everyone's minds. It was awesome, so excited to have them back. August 19th, John Cale from a little band, Velvet Underground. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe
Small little
like
backyard band.
Yeah, it's like a little local act.
Local act.
Huge get. Tyler's going to tell us a story about how this one ended up on our stage, which is great. And Tone Berlin's amazing. We're excited about that. And then it's our final week, which I'm already a little bit sad about because we all go through a mourning process at the end of the season where you're like tired but sad. We're closing it out with some awesome benefit shows. And then closing night, The Head and the Heart. And Izzy, which is, this one's really special. They played our stage, I can't remember, a few years back, and they have now blown up and are huge. And again, it's a moment where like, that was a magical show and we're bringing them back, and it's about that artist cultivation and creating the space to grow with us. So it's gonna be a really fun way to close the season.
This is a lot. This is fantastic. So well done. So I do want to take a moment and bring out, we're gonna sort of bring up the rest of our curatorial team. So we want to invite the rest of Diane's squad, come on up. We want to take a time to kind of shout out the people that sometimes you don't always see. Again, pulling down that curtain and removing the gatekeeping. So I guess we're going to start with Tyler, who I think at one point was behind me in rehearsal. So Tyler, you want to go? And we're going to pass the mic. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Tyler Anderson, the program associate here at BRIC. I'm Taja Cheek, and I'm the artist curator.
Hi, everyone. I'm Viviana Benitez, performing arts producer.
So, everyone, they're going to talk about some of their favorite shows, and then we're going to go to Q&A. So, since you got the mic, Viviana, you're up first.
All right. I'm going to shout out our July 15th show with Marcia Griffiths. She is if you don't know, an icon in the music world. She has been performing for almost 60 years, and she's well known for being one of the I3s that toured the world with Bob Marley and the Wailers. And she's had an incredible career of her own, and she's never been on our stage, as Diane has said. And so we thought, well, we're like celebrating 45 years. How could we not have had this legend ever grace our stage? So it was sort of a no-brainer in thinking about inviting her, and she was available. And so, you know, you lock those shows in right away, because if you didn't see the Super Bowl, she did a remix with Shaggy that was blasted during the Super Bowl of Electric Boogie, which is her song. So she's gotten like a lot of like, you know, she's been in the ether most recently, and we paired her with Brown Rice Family, which is a local reggae band based here in Brooklyn. They've been going at it for many, many years, and they really bring a global sort of look to the reggae world, because the band itself is comprised of Haitians and Japanese folks and African Americans, and so they're so much fun. They're high energy, so it's going to be a great way to kick off that night. And we have DJ Miss Hapsalam, who's a local Brooklyn DJ. You know, probably has played "Come On Everybody" and other local venues in New York City, and she's just wonderful and a delight to work with. So it's just going to be one of those like super summer nights where you're just going to like leave the band shell buzzing.
So, Viviana, can I ask you a question? This idea of, and I've heard Diane say this, of having played the stage, you know, this sort of look. How much does that go when when you're trying to find these artists, of trying to find 45 years and they haven't gotten you yet? I hear you all say that. Like, how much is that like part of the pursuit, for lack of a better word?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we're in an interesting year for BRIC. So it came up in the conversations quite a bit because we definitely wanted to honor the past with bringing the gems in. But, you know, there's so many artists out there, and it is just like a hard thing to filter down. But, you know, when you just think about all the reggae acts that we have had, you know, it's important, I think, to make space for new voices all the time when you're doing live music. And particularly when you're thinking about a genre that has been, you know, male dominated as well, that sort of helps narrow the choice down.
No doubt.
Or the desire for which artist to be on the stage.
No doubt. No doubt.
All
All right.
Who
All right.
wants you next? Tyler, I think you're up.
I don't think this comes as a surprise to any member of my team that I chose to highlight this show. I pretty much made it my life's mission to get John on our stage pretty early on in the season. As a personal fan of the Velvet Underground, and John as a musician and his whole career has, you know, hugely impacted the genre and music in and of itself. And the idea sort of spurred from his new album Mercy, which is out now, and I saw some press that he was putting out this album, and I was like, how have we never had John Cale on our stage? And it took a lot of intense digging. It went from trying to find an agent, not getting a response, cold reaching out to his label, who we had worked with on a guest list ask last year, and just saying, like, can you put me in touch with John Cale's team? And it magically, beautifully happened, and was sort of one of those moments as a curator where when I finally got that confirmation, it like made me emotional to have accomplished it and made it happen. And I just think too, what I think we'll all be saying and echoing, I think bringing John Cale out is a way to, he hasn't played the stage before, but honoring the past and the legacy of his career, in addition to pairing that very specifically with a younger up-and-coming artist, I think was a really important pairing, and I think it'll be a really beautiful night to see both of these two musicians come together on our stage.
And Tyler really made it happen. She's being humble.
Yeah.
But we literally had to like dig, and we were like, yeah, good luck, Tyler. If you can pull it off, let's do it. Sure, yeah, we want John Cale. And then she like willed it into being when it confirmed. I remember like screaming and jumping around.
Well, you guys must have been at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
You guys are saying awesome.
Yeah,
But I guess, you know, Tyler, I know you're right behind me. It's sort of weird. But I think you But Tyler, you know, in this sort of new season, you know, because I know this sort of configuration is different, bringing the curation in house. So this is sort of like a new kind of an enhanced role for you, sort of Tyler. So I don't. How are you feeling? You know, I know I know you two. Everyone has sort of taken on a little bit of extra. So I mean, kind of like it's a lot of extra stress and work. How you feeling about this big win?
I feel great about the big win. I feel great about the season.
That's a good win.
Yeah.
That's a good right
This
answer
is like
to say.
this is some like my end of the game like review of like I played great, coach.
Exactly. We went out there, you know, it's just up and down the court, and, you know,
Crushed it.
Yeah, exactly.
crushed it. I'm awesome. Give me a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're here.
Exactly.
We're recording.
People in
actually,
culture,
so,
Eram is right over there.
I heard it.
It's on tape. No, I think the sort of funny story is that when I came to BRIC, I came from a background of working at a booking agency. And when I got the job, I was sort of just assuming that it was programmed in-house. And when I got here, I was like, oh, it's kind of funny that we don't actually book it. And it was a little bit of a bummer at the time, but we used to work with an organization that was wonderful. And now bringing it in-house has really been just a beautiful thing, I think, for all of us to express that like creative element in hand selecting and working together to actually, it's just a really rewarding feeling to see something come on the stage and you're like, we did that.
BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn just has a history of presenting really powerful female R&B vocalists on that stage, and so it made sense to continue with that legacy. And Kalela was someone that I was thinking about. I know others on the team were also thinking about, first because she's such an icon in lots of different arenas in fashion and music, has been around for a while, was first kind of garnered some attention in 2013, and continues to this day. And there was a bit of a lapse between the last record and this one, and it's been such a highly anticipated record. It seemed like the exact right moment. And I had been thinking about Liv for a long time. There's a lot of similarities, I think, between her music and Kalela's, and also the spaces they occupy. Liv is a fashionista and kind of an outs, I think everything that she creates is really vibrant and creative and experimental in a lot of ways. She's from Dallas and is a part of a really incredible music scene there, around a record label called Dolphin Records. But yeah, so not much of a story, but really just continuing in the tradition of, BRIC presenting amazing vocalists.
Yeah.
Maybe the story is on my end.
Well, it's a huge get. I mean, to be
Yeah.
able to present her for free, Solange just curated her abandon.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge get, a huge honor. And yeah, I mean, Todd, that was another one when she confirmed. Oh my God, we were freaking out.
Oh my God, completely freaking out. But it sort of reminded me too, it is a big deal to have an artist like Kalela performing for free in Prospect Park, and reminds me of so many moments when I would come to Celebrate Brooklyn to see artists for free that I was really excited about as a kid. So
yeah.
No, I think I give you a hard time, but I think it was, but it was the passion in here of like, we got to beat on this, we got to move.
We have a full orchestra coming, the Chelsea Symphony Orchestra. They have been an incredible partner. It's quite difficult to get an orchestra on your stage.
You don't say.
Yes,
Right.
It's like there's a reason it happens at Lincoln Center and fancy other big stages, and not at your free concert series. So it has literally another one that's been years in the making. I met with them, before COVID hit. So, and was like, would you ever do this? And they've been incredible partners. We've secured an incredible soloist, Lady Jess, and Lucretia Dalt, who's an amazing electronic musician from Europe, happened to be in the States because she's playing Pitchfork. But the idea of an audience that's coming for Lucretia to also see an orchestra. It's like we're tricking them into eating their vegetables. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
no doubt.
I'm really excited about this one, and come, just spend the night with us. It's gonna blow your mind.
No doubt. And this is something, again, that if you weren't doing it, I probably wouldn't go see it. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But it's great, and I hope other people will again, trust the process, as they say, and trust the curation.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, this is a really good example of that.
Well, I want to thank you all for taking the time out to kind of get
Yeah.
inside your brains and share this up. So we're going to put up again, the big reveal of it all. June 7th is the opening night. Come join us for Taj Mahal. Join us for the rest of it. We can go. Where can people go and get more information?
On our website. We've got it all there.
Thank you for this. We're going to take a little break now. We have the people in here. We can ask them questions. We're going to take some questions from the chat. We have a couple more minutes before we get out of here. But again, this is a wonderful time. Again, pull down the curtain. You got the people. Make it happen. We're happy to sort of give you some more information to people who maybe want to get into this career, learn more about this 45-year-old brand. Let's take some questions and get into it while we have folks here. So I think are we going to start with the chat or are we going to start live? Okay, we're going to start from the chat.
All right.
So I got our first question.
Okay.
I'm going to toss this out to anybody. I guess we'll start with Diane here. What sets BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn apart from other festivals across New York City and the country?
BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn, what sets it apart, I think in a lot of ways is the curatorial voice of we're not just one thing. We're not just catering to one audience. We truly reflect the diversity of Brooklyn, and you feel it when you come, and you look around and there's people that look like you, there's people that don't look like you, and you can feel that energy, and it has to do with our continued commitment to every artist that's on our stage. We're thinking through, it's not just the opener that's on tour with the band that plays. We are handpicking those things, and I hope we're reaching those audiences and inviting them in. The fact that we're predominantly free really does speak to the, take a chance.
There used to be a lot of free music in Brooklyn, and that has really dwindled. There just isn't that much anymore. And it's really, really, really rare to have something that, was birthed in this borough in the 70s, to still be around, and to not just be around, but be thriving and be evolving and incorporating new voices. That's such a rare thing. And, as a kid growing up, I couldn't really go to shows. I didn't have a fake ID to get into clubs, you go to see music where you can. And free shows were one of the opportunities. Free shows and DIY spaces were the places that I would go. So it's a special thing for me. And I remember getting the calendar in the mail, and that was a very big deal for me because I could plan out my whole summer, and I could hit up my friends and say oh, these are the shows you want to go to. Yesterday when we were at the band shell, as everyone was starting to prepare, I was really geeking out going backstage because I could see all of these lineups that I remember. I remember seeing David Byrne on the calendar and all of these things and how I felt then. So yeah, it's special.
No, that's really great. I mean, I do have to say, if I can take this as well, as I think it is one of the things that makes Brooklyn. So this is this diversity of which you speak of, right? This is, I can come in 3 days and see 3 different communities and be welcome, and maybe see all of your smiling faces and wasn't this like a classical setup yesterday? And now it's now there's a queer storyteller in here, and then there's a hip hop show the next day. Be that's Brooklyn and the free part.
Yeah.
A lot of people put a lot of money up to keep this, even the benefit shows are not Coachella prices. We're not charging $185 to see, Anderson .Paak. So,
Yeah.
right.
And it is about the experience. We're trying to think about that experience. It starts when you get in line. We created a new position, community care manager, last season, and it was amazing. She personally walks you into the venue if you just need a little help. And it's like the traditional model of festival producing where you wait for somebody to pass out from a drug overdose. It's now we're like, hey, you know, you're looking a little woozy. Here's a free bottle of water.
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
straight
yeah.
up do that at all of our shows. And that really is a shift from like, you know, the commercial promoter, which is like, drink that beer, give me that money.
Until you can't anymore.
Until you can't anymore. And our approach really is different. We want you to feel safe. We want you to stay hydrated and go chill out in a corner if you need to on the lawn.
I will say this, my wife Ebony's here, who we ran a thing for a while. The care that Erykah Badu, when she was 2 hours late, they were taking care of people real quick, boy. We were in here like, damn, they quick with that water. They was getting people in and out. I was like, well done.
Oh yeah, Phoebe Bridgers, we handed out popsicles, right? Or ice cream sandwiches or something.
I said, these people care. I'll tell you that. I know people who don't.
And it's like kids' first shows, you know, what Taj was talking about. And their parents let you go because they're like, oh yes, Taj Mahal's playing. I like that.
Across the street or off the G train. Right?
Yeah.
You're right. It's a lot of trust. It's a real family thing.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to take a question from the studio if we have one. All right.
Ooh, all right.
Watch this person.
Watch out. Uh-oh.
She might walk away with the microphone.
I'm going to stump you with this one too.
Yes, ma'am.
So first, congratulations. This is wonderful. I'm so excited to hear about this and really pull back the curtain. My question is, let's say I went to every show this summer.
Ooh.
Right. One of the things I know, I met people who went to a lot of shows. Let's say I went to every single show this summer. How would you describe my journey?
Ooh.
What is the story that I would have at the end of the summer from everything that you all have brought together? That's an easy one too.
Oh, yeah, great. All right.
Viviana. I want to hear this.
I'm going to take a stab at this. Great question, Ebony. Thank you. Well, I would say just to the earlier question was like how, you know, this is a Brooklyn thing, but how does it appeal on a national level, maybe even on an international level? And I think that what makes Celebrate Brooklyn so unique is that I feel like it's a music lovers festival, right? And so I think that if you're a music lover, you're going to be on like the most ecstatic journey from, you know, June 7th to August 24th, because we do just display an array of sounds and people and cultures. And so it's really a musical journey for a music lover. And if you're someone who's open and chill, you're just going to have the time of your life. So that's what, you know, I can say that with certainty. I don't know if anyone else wants to add something.
Yeah. And depth. I hope you would walk away the beauty. I'm good. Thank you, girl. You know, again, that it's like it goes beyond that headliner, which makes us unique in the sense that most folks who are putting on shows, which I know you guys know, it's like, all right, who's going to be the name that draws them, which is certainly a factor. But we want to take you on that journey, and we hope you show up early and go to the 11th Street gate if you want to skip the line. And you see that really is a good pro tip. But that the openers and the framing, they aren't just openers to us, you know? And it's interesting, one of the biggest feedback we get from artists is like, oh, I got treated like a rock star, even though I'm the opener. And it's true, we carry your amps. You get the same hospitality that the headliner gets. And that's across the board how we curate and put it together. So I would hope that you'd walk away from that as well.
That is not common.
See?
Just to say,
But the carrying
it is
of the
not
amps.
common for the opener to be treated like, you know, real artists in their own right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's interesting, sometimes on the ticketed show, you know, where it's a little bit more of a traditional model, and they come in like, oh no, they don't need a sound check, and we're like, whoa, no. It's our house. Here, they get a nice long sound check. You know, we make space where they get their own dressing room most of the time, hopefully, if we have enough room backstage. But, you know, we make it nice. Right? Like, ooh, geez, I gotta be careful. Sometimes it's shared.
Okay, so we got time for one last question, and this is a sort of meta question. What are your hopes for the next 45 years of BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn? And maybe we'll toss it to Tyler, who has it. You start us off.
I think my hopes for the next 45 years is that it does grow. I think, something we're all focused on is like how can we make it bigger and better than it was in years past? If it ain't broke, don't fix it is very much a very true principle to live by. But I think for us, and that secret like celebrate sauce is just getting creative and changing it up and seeing how we can push the limits and how we can grow, whether it's our community partners, like what other community partners can we reach out to? Can they table on the lawn? Can they also have kids come up and speak before artists?
Ember Charter
Things
School,
like that.
shout out.
Yes, shout out to Ember Charter School. And, on the stage and beyond, I know we've had a lot of talks about maybe going into live streaming. And so just continuing to grow, I think, and also stay true to ourselves at the end of the day, which I think we always will because we have that sort of magnetic force behind it. But there's so much opportunity at BRIC and with Celebrate in the future that I think I'm really looking forward to all of that.
Yeah. Next 45
Anybody?
years. I feel like
Anyone else want to
the globe needs to know about us.
The
you know,
globe.
we represent art. We bring artists from the globe, and we are such a special, unique festival and presenter. And in some ways, we're kind of a beloved kind of niche thing, right?
Mhm.
Like if you're in Brooklyn or New York, you're like, oh yeah, Celebrate, oh, they're awesome. BRIC Celebrate Brooklyn, love them. But like, I want the world to know about the
doubt.
magic that happens here. So there we go, 45-year strategic plan.
Strategic plan done. No need
We'll
to
be-
hire any consultants.
It'll be
It's
fine.
done. So can I if I can say this, I do want to shout out, Rafiq from Eber Charter Schools, who was a big supporter of us last year, who had never been in this building before. That's not cool, right? We got to get everybody who has been, was in there, probably 10, 12 times in the park. We got everybody that comes to see y'all in the park got to get into this building and back and forth and spin them around. Because this is again, I want to shout out, the community media people, the BRIC TV people, productions and ops, that we can do this, right? That we can get this team that's working so hard across town and produce wonderful events in here, get your students in here, teach them this, teach them that, spin them around, right? We got to get the whole sort of magic of this building and this organization and the borough and all of that fully sold and get the next versions of you all in the building, right? Because they're out there. People think that sometimes the curators are like, ooh, these sort of untouchable people. Like, no, you're just hardworking people who love what you do. And there's somebody out there like, well, I work hard and I love what I do too, so maybe I can. And I hope that people understand that that's what BRIC can offer, that opportunity. Give thanks for you all. Let's give it up for our wonderful programming team. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for everybody who sit with us. For those who are here, we're gonna enjoy some cocktails in the cafe. For those who are coming in here, June 7th, bricartsmedia.org is the website. Follow us on socials. I didn't mean to take that. Follow us on socials. The official announcement is tomorrow. RSVP, come see you at Taj Mahal. But again, we thank you for 45 years of support, and we'll see you out there in the park. Peace, peace.
All right.
All right.